Okay, that didn't work out very well. Yoshi decided to be a butt and he just like took off. I actually want to do a walking video with him on his leash, let him get some exercise, but he was not having that leash, so maybe another time we'll try to do another one of these videos. But I figured I want to take a break from my regular schedule of comedy to talk about a trip that actually happened, and apparently the elders were not happy about it. So I guess let me break it down. So it was me and my wife and 4 other single people. Now, 2 of those persons, they were a couple. They had been a couple years, and they recently, they got baptized, and she actually ended up becoming a regular pioneer and stuff. She's super excited about it. Then the other 2, there were no romantic involvement or nothing like that. I mean, they're just good friends. They're all good friends, And I don't want to say we were kind of like the rebels in a way, but I mean, we were still good people. We went out in service and did all that stuff. I guess we were rebels because we didn't kiss nobody's butt, basically. We just kind of told it how it is, and I've always tried to be like that. So anyway, we all decided, we need to go on a nice vacation. Everybody's stressed from work and meetings and all that stuff. And we picked Costa Rica as a destination. We spend the money, book the trips and everything. We had an amazing time down there. Man, it's like one of my best trips I've ever had. I mean, we actually got to deep sea fish. We went like cave exploring. What else did we do? Let's see, we did zip lining. It was just a lot of like beach walking, discovering, little lost areas, surfing. Even though the surfing, like, I suck at surfing, like I ate a lot of waves, but at least I could say I tried it. Funny story on that though, the first spot we started surfing at, this local comes out and he's like, y'all probably don't want to surf here. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. It's really rocky here, when we crash, we're like hitting little pebbles and stuff, hurting our feet. He's like, yeah, it kind of sucks here. And also he points to the side and there's like a big sign that says warning, crocodiles in area. So yeah, we got out of that water quick, needless to say. Apparently there's like saltwater crocodiles there, so there's a river feeding into the ocean, so they kind of use that to go back and forth. But I don't see how we didn't see that sign, but we made it out alive. So anyway, we go on this trip, and when we come back, that's when kind of basically everything went down. Now, I'll just give you the sum of it. So when I get back, I think it was that next Sunday meeting, one of the elders, the one that he caused a lot of issues anyway, he comes up to me, he talks about a little bit about the trip and stuff, but then he kind of just goes in. He's like, well, you're not really getting the 10-hour national average, this fake national average they come up with. I don't know where they got that number at. There are some witnesses that have never actually heard that rule, but I think some people just, I don't know, some just make it up as they go. Seriously, I don't know what's up with that. But I think I was only putting down like 4 or 5 hours, people put pretend numbers and stuff. I think most people did that stuff, but I wasn't getting the national average. So he removed my privileges. I mean, I didn't have much at the time. Like I said, I didn't want to be a servant again just because of what happened last time. So yeah, he took those away, so I couldn't do mics or sound or anything like that, and I was totally fine with that. I was like, yeah, whatever, I mean, at that point in my life, I'm switching hands here, but at that point in life, I was getting to not really care about what they said, because, I had so many questions in my head anyway. Now, the pioneer, now she hadn't been pioneering very long, like literally maybe a couple months. Like I said, she was gung-ho about it. She was so excited, and apparently, she really enjoyed doing it. But like I said, she had only been a witness for maybe like a year or two or something like that. So she was still pretty fresh in. So she didn't see the bad side of the organization yet until, that happened. So she lets us know, the elders came to her and told her, we can't have you on the Pioneer list anymore because you went on this trip. When I heard that, I was disgusted. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you literally stopping grown adults. I don't think anybody was actually under the age of 30. I'm pretty sure everybody was at least at 30 or up. So, I mean, like, we're grown people, we got jobs, our own houses, things like that. Now, her boyfriend, I don't think he had any privileges. He wasn't all about that anyway, so he's kind of staying back, which I don't blame him. I wish I could have been there with him. But now my other friend, he was working hard, to work toward, being a servant and things like that. Now, what's interesting, and I just found this out literally like a couple days ago. So apparently with my friend, the elder actually comes up to him and basically warns him, threatens, whatever you want to call it. And he tells him, if you go on this trip, there will be consequences. And basically, like, if you go, you're gonna lose all your privileges, and who knows when you'll get them back. Like I said, I just found this out like a couple days ago, and it just blew my mind away that the elders were this like Hitlerish in controlling people's lives. I mean, it's just I still can't fathom that they had the balls to say that. And like I said, what's the saddest part about it? We all went down there as good friends. We had an amazing time, good, clean activities, entertainment. And what's crazy is, we went to the hall while we were there. That's just what's crazy. Like, we thought we were doing right. We want to make sure, we see the other witnesses around the world, which normally when we travel, we'd always go to the Kingdom Hall, whatever country we're in, because, we like to see how they do things over there. But for us to have such an engaging, spiritual, wholesome trip, and to come back for the elders to just, like, slam us into the ground, everybody's morale like went to the deepest part of the belly. It was crazy. Like, nobody wanted to talk to each other. It's like this dark cloud was over everybody at the Kingdom Hall and stuff, and it was crazy. Basically after that, I was done with that hall. This is a hall I kind of grew up in anyway, so I didn't care for the elders there. They were nothing but trouble anyway. They want us to run everybody's lives as hardcore as they can. And I'm from the South too, so a lot of congregations in the South, man, they're hardcore. They're super strict. I mean, they literally want to know everything that's going on with your life, what you're watching, what you're listening to, where you're working at. Are you studying? Not the Bible, but the publications. Total hierarchy here is ridiculous. So I decided to, I told my wife, it's like, I got to get out of this hall. I can't deal with these people anymore. They're making me stressed. My anxiety level is getting super high. So we went on and switched halls. I knew everybody around here. But when we switched, they basically just broke my spirit anyway. So at that point, I was done, I couldn't say nothing. I didn't want to say nothing to my wife or nothing like that. But I was pretty much done with the organization at that point. I was just disgusted how, they treated us, especially to put so many years and, trying to talk to people about joining the organization and all, and just to be treated like that I was just horrified. So I was pretty much done mentally at that point when all that happened. And I guess it took maybe a couple more years for me to finally just like, what, I'm done with this. I know it's going to be tough, explaining this to my wife and all, but like I said, I can't do it anymore. I just cannot do it. But you know, I'm glad now. You know, my anxiety levels have dropped a lot. It I mean, it did bring some, I guess, deep emotional anxiety, but you know, I'm actually working on that pretty good now and stuff. But I figured that, you know, I'd tell that little story about the craziness that the elders are. I mean, if you're a witness, or if you were a witness, you know how the elders are. Yeah, some areas I think they're a little bit more lenient, but not from where I'm from, man. It's night and day. Like, I lived in California for a little while, and I noticed the elders there, they're a lot more cooler. You know, they didn't seem to watch people, but I mean, it could be just a congregation thing as well. But anyway, like I said, I figured I'd just share a little bit more about me. You know, that when I heard that news about my friend, and like I said, he never told us that the elders came to them before he went on this trip. But I'm glad he did go, cause man, if he hadn't have gone, it would have given them so much more power and control. But I'm glad he chose his friends, you know, over what the elders decided for him. But anyway, I guess that's my video for today. I'll probably actually, let's see. Yeah, I actually do a video tomorrow because we're going on a little trip Thursday, and we'll be gone all weekend. So I won't be able to get another video in probably until Monday. But I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that stuff, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.